Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. As you can see, it's a rainy old day here in Sydney town on this autumn morning. But what I'd like to do, regardless of whether it's raining or not, is to go through another book. And the book that I've selected for today's episode is entitled Your Body Believes Every Word You Say, a book that was published back in 2000, October 2000, by an author named Barbara Levine. And I'll just take an excerpt from this book just to get us into the mood and thinking along the same lines. I was sitting in a doctor's office for the third time that month, listening to yet another specialist tell me, all your tests are normal, as my body continued to ache with mysterious fatigue, when an elderly woman in the waiting room nudged me and gave me a worn paperback and placed it in my hands. "Read chapter 4, she whispered. The title of chapter 4 was Your Body Believes Every Word You Say, and this sent a shiver down my spine. By the time I reached the highlighted passage, chronic pain is often the body's final plea to be heard, tears splashed onto the pages. Let's see what we can take from this book and what we can incorporate into our lives to help us understand the damage that we're doing to ourselves through our negative self-talk. So the first key message to come from this author is where she tells us that our cells are eavesdropping on our every thought. Levine's radical promise is that if you listen and follow her instruction, then you can absolutely learn a lot about how the body works, how our mind works, and how our health is impacted. Levine's radical premise: every time I say that I'm stupid or that this is killing me isn't just a metaphor, it's literal programming of our minds. Studies cited show how negative self-talk triggers cortisol spikes and inflammation, and is described as a language diet. So you don't only cause damage to your body by what you eat, but according to this author, you also cause damage by what you say in terms of your language diet. So one of the messages from this author is to learn to swap out what we say to ourselves, and instead of saying, I'm falling apart, you're better off saying, I'm healing in progress, or replacing my back is shot by my back is asking for more care. And what you'll find is hopefully and potentially within weeks, pain levels will drop. And once again, the key lesson to come from this is that your body is a loyal servant, not a traitor. Illness is often unspoken grief in disguise, and there's a chapter entitled The Anatomy of Heartbreak, and this chapter reveals that unexpressed anger can fester as migraines. Swallowed sadness becomes potential throat issues. Abandonment wounds manifest as autoimmune flares. So one thing that people can do is to start to journal about their lives and to look back and to see if it can impact or change the way they feel and their health outcomes. Levine's insight here is that symptoms are simply telegrams from your deepest self. Another message from the author is that healing requires listening, not just medicine or pills. Levine's method: talk to your body, not about it. Each morning, I place a hand on my aching hip and ask, what do you need me to know? And the answers will come in flashes. Rest, boundaries, less caffeine. Following them can become sacred. And this is also, or can be seen as, an extension of prayer. So another message that comes from this author is where she reminds us that the most dangerous word in our vocabulary is the word should. The book's indictment of perfectionism can hit the reader really hard. When you say to yourself, I should be over this, your body only hears that you're failing. So you're better off replacing your mental whip with, I'm doing my best. This is enough for today. And you'll find that potentially your insomnia, fueled by restless self-criticism, may finally ease. The author also mentions that laughter can be seen as a cellular medicine. Levine cites studies where humour is seen to boost immune function, lower pain perception, and release hope chemicals. You can start a silly-only playlist for bad pain days, and the result, more relief than any pill can ever give you. So this book doesn't really change your health, but what it does do is it changes your language. So now you're invited to bless your body like a cherished friend. Treat symptoms as messages to decode, not enemies for you to fight, and to know that healing isn't necessarily linear. It can actually be a conversation. So in summary, Levine's words echo with old pains when old pains whisper. Your body isn't betraying you, it's speaking for the parts of you that have gone unheard. Take care. Bye for now.